to our live chess channel, live free live class 11 at 11 a.m. every Monday to Friday. मैं हूँ कोच रोहित. I am a FIDE rated player. Also, I have a 10 plus year of experience in chess coaching. So, sorry. यहाँ पर we are learning every day some new topics structural wise as a grandmaster curriculum. And today's we are going to learn backward pawn structure. Today we will learn about the backward pawn structure. Maybe you guys already know about that, right? Or maybe some kids also don't know about that. So we will learn today what is backward pawn structure and how to play with that backward pawn structure and how to play against a backward pawn structure as well. Okay, so let's go. Hi Prabhas, how are you, champion? So let's go, let's dive into our lesson and make our chess stronger, right? Great, you came, you gave me a like, you messaged me, perfect. Great. So this is first, okay, first we will go with the warm up, obviously, right? And let me check. Okay, so this is for your warm up puzzle. Here it's white to play and win. Find the best move. Okay, guys? Find the best move. Hi, Aditya. That's really nice. You also joined. So it's white to play and win. You guys have 1 minute to think and write down your answer. Okay? How white will win. And today's topic is pawn structure. We already finished our all the end games. So I think I believe that you guys are good in that now. You can play against any end games like either it's the knight end game or bishop end game or a knight versus bishop end game or if it's a rook end game. So you guys already know the theory. Just remember, try to solve some puzzles so you will become perfect. You will become good in that. And now we are going to start our pawn structure and how to play with those pawn and how to play against with those pawn as well. So first let's do warm up again. I'm just waiting for your answer. White to play. Slowly, we are increasing our level of puzzles. Okay, but it's just a very easy puzzle. Easily you will get an advantage. White to play. Okay, one last minute I will wait and then I will go with that. Knight g5. And what is your plan, Aditya, behind knight g5? No, okay, it's fine. Okay, the time is going to be over quick, guys. Okay, so we have a chance to create a mating threat in this position, okay, by opening the line, right? So the here our best move is to knight capture e5, okay? That's the best move. What will happen? Tell me what will happen if this pawn will capture our knight? Tell me guys, quick. What will happen if the black will capture our knight? And don't forget our today's lesson is pawn structure, backward pawns. What will happen if oh you were in a blitz? It's okay, Prabhas. Okay, yes. What will happen if the knight will capture d5? Sorry, if the d pawn will capture knight. Quick. Yes, perfect. If the knight pawn will capture e5, knight f6 is a checkmate. And if the like let's see he will capture this bishop, okay, then the knight d7 is a checkmate, right? And if he will, let's see, he will not capture the knight, if he will not capture our bishop, and he's going to play anything else like the knight h5 to creating a space for his king, right? So here you can take an advantage by moving your knight to d7, king g7, and then you have amazing pieces here. Let's see. Yeah, knight g4. And the idea is the queen will come to b2 and create a checkmate threats. Yeah, if not captured, then the mating threats will come like this. Okay, Mayur? Okay. Let's go for our next puzzle. Again, this is also a two move. Okay, not this one. This is also a two move checkmate, the last warm up puzzle, and after this, we will start our topic backward pawn. Let's see which guys are okay. Let's go white to play and find a two move checkmate. Let's see who will give me the answer first. Let's go white to play and two move checkmate. Hey, 1 minute is not very less, and I am giving you more time, more than 1 minute. Don't worry, and it's just a warm up puzzle. Okay. Okay, great. Very good. See, the right answers start coming, right? Perfect. Guys, quick. Already Red Tail Stars found the answer. I'm waiting for more answer. Then we will start our today's topic. Okay, Mayur? Bishop takes. Okay. I want to know how to attack and when and which side, king or queen. So this is a very amazing concept, Aditya, attacking. Okay, we will come on that. It's also based on your position, based on your pawn structure, based on the weakness where you have strong pieces, where you have weakness. It's also based on all those things. How to stop your opponent's attacks while also going for attacks. Okay, so all these things we will learn in our upcoming sessions. So don't worry about that. Slowly, we will go dive in those things as well. Okay, hello Pragya. Okay, rook takes e4 and then yes, perfect Aditya. Okay, so I got the right answer from Red Tail Sas and Aditya. Mayur, bishop takes the knight and then rook check. See, that's a good move. Bishop takes the knight. What if it will just capture this? Now the rook check, this pawn becomes unprotected and it's check to your king, right? So you can't, you got the idea. The idea is not the bishop into e4, then the king will capture my right. Hi Kapinjal, it's rook into e4. If you see, this king does not have any square to escape. So the bishop will capture, and already so many champions give me the right answer. It's bishop d2 and checkmate. Amazing checkmate. Okay, guys, now tell me. Now we are going to dive in our today's session backward pawn. तो आप अब मुझे ये बताओ, do you guys know what is backward pawn? आप लोगों को पता है बैकवर्ड पॉन क्या होता है? डू यू गाइस नो व्हाट इज बैकवर्ड पॉन? क्विक, लेट्स सी. Black bishop take Mayur and it's a check. Yeah, Rook will take bishop. That was correct, Mayur. Very good. Okay, अब इसमें बताओ, आप लोगों को पता है बैकवर्ड पॉन क्या होता है? क्विक गाइस, आई एम वेटिंग फॉर योर आंसर. आप लोगों को पता है बैकवर्ड पॉन क्या होता है? D6 वाला पॉन. वेरी गुड कपिंजल. ओके, D6 वाला पॉन. बट how we will know that the D6 wala pawn is a backward pawn? Have any money is backward. Yes, the pawn does not have any support, okay, from his other adjacent file pawn. All the adjacent file pawn moves forward so that the one single pawn becomes a backward pawn. Also, there is one more thing, a pawn which is left behind and it's not protected with any other pawns. Very good, Prabhas. Amazing. Perfect explanation. Yes, the pawn left behind and not supported by any another pawn. Very good, Aditya. Yes, very good, guys. So you understood. And that backward pawn is called as a weakness in a chess game. Okay. First, just as you said, guys, pawn which is left behind on his other pawns, on his other adjacent file pawn. Okay. तो वो backward pawn हो गया. Second, अगर वो semi open file पर है, yeah, kind of. Yes, it comes from Sicilian only. Okay. और वो semi open file पर है, right? So we have a chance to attack on that pawn. Okay. Because this pawn does not have any support from his other adjacent file pawns or the neighbor file pawns. Okay, clear? And if it's on a semi-open file, the rook and the queen can easily attack on those pawns. Okay. Yes, the pieces have to go and protect that pawn. So we understood this is the backward pawn, right? Now I have some question for you guys. Then we will understand what is backward pawn. Then we will learn how to play against the backward pawn, and then we will also learn how to play with the backward pawn. Okay. Now next, in this position, tell me which pawn is the backward pawn. In this position, uh, you guys can solve. I call it pelican. Sicilian Pelican defense. Okay, because the knight will go to the b5 if I am playing from there time. But yes, that's also the positions. Okay, it's very tough for me to take that name. Okay, in this position, tell me which pawn is a backward pawn. It should be on a semi-open file, Pragya. Okay, Adi, Mayur, sort out for you guys. D6 if black plays e5. Yes, Prabhas. If black will not play e5 also, d6 is backward only. Okay? Because there is no pawn behind it to protect that d6 pawn. Okay? So its pawn is already moved forward. So it is backward pawn only. Okay? Very good, Kapinjal, Aditya. And see the most important part, it's on a semi-open file. And there is no one to protect this. Okay? And obviously, one more thing, because of this e6 pawn, the d5 pawn is d5 square is not big. But if you see in a previous position, the e6 pawn is moved forward. So if the backward pawn is there, the square front of the backward pawn is a weak square. So square backward pawn के आगे का स्क्वायर फ्रंट स्क्वायर इज अ वीक स्क्वायर क्योंकि वहां पर कोई पॉन नहीं होते हैं to protect to control that square, so we are using it as an outpost for our knight, for our bishop, for our sometime for our rook as well. Okay, but the knight is the best piece for our outpost. Okay, now let's go for a position how to play in this position. Okay, so tell me which pawn is the backward pawn is this in this position. Quick, tell me which pawn is the backward pawn in this position. Let's see. First, we will understand the backward pawn. Then we will go and learn how to play against the backward pawn and how to fix that weakness and how to play with and without against as well. D6 also called as a isolated, right? D6 also called as a isolated pawn. ठीक है? और चलो D6 में isolated pawn है. अभी बताओ backward pawn कौन सा है? Very good. One right answer I got. One right answer. Yeah, for black I am asking only. Yes. Can we say B2? Yes, you can also say B2. Yes, for a black. But also tell me for a black. Which black pawn is a backward pawn? But yes, for a B2 is also backward for white. Perfect. Very good. Very good. I got some good right answer. That's amazing. Rohit, Yarakala. Okay, F7. F7, we can consider it. Okay, yeah. Very good. F7 is also backward pawn. Perfect. So F7, B7. D6 is the isolated pawn. Okay. Or if you will see for a white, B2 is a backward pawn. Perfect, guys. You understood. That's really a glitch chess 1708 points and in classical chess 1. Oh, that's really nice. Very good, Max. Mayur, H7. H7. Okay, we can consider it H7 as well. So this pawn, see, F7 and H7 has a chance to come forward, right? But we have a chance to fix this B7 pawn. Okay, so whenever we are playing against the backward pawns, that's really good, Max. Okay, let's continue in this class. So if we will just, we need to fix it. So we will force him to not move forward his pawn. So right now, see, this pawn cannot go forward to B5. It's a fix already. If he will come here, he will get captured, right? So backward pawn means the pawn which is fixed also and not get a chance to move forward. If he has a chance to move forward, then we need to stop it, right? हमें जाना है और उस pawn को forward like आगे आने से रोकना है. Okay, that's guys really nice. Already so many Aditya, Retil Sar, Mayur, all these guys like and who else? Mayur, Rohit, Yarakalla, very good. And Adit, that's a isolated pawn. No, no. It's a alone pawn. Backward pawn means they have some connection with the other pawn, but the adjacent file pawn moves forward, right? That pawn left behind it. But this pawn does not have any neighbor pawn, in no, not any friend pawn nearby him. So that's called, that's why it's a isolated. Okay? Not because of that. Okay. Now, one last question, and then we will watch a game of Grandmasters to understand how to play with or without with against a pawn, like against backward pawn. Is this position? Tell me, is the h6 pawn is a backward pawn? Yes or no? Just write down yes or no. Yes. One forward connected or it's on a same file side by side, but that pawn cannot move forward as well. It's fixed. Okay, and it's on a semi-open file also. Yeah, tell me, h6 pawn is a backward pawn, yes or no? So Adi gave me the answer. Pragya, very good. Mayush, very good. Pragya, yeah, semi-open, very good. Pragya, not supported. Yes, a6 also, very good. Yeah, a6 also fixed. So we can also consider a6 as well. Yes, but the question is the h6 pawn is backward pawn? Tell me, guys. Is the h6 pawn is backward pawn? Already I got so many right answers. Adi, Pragya, Mayur, Ritil, Sas, Aditya. Okay, that's really amazing. Try to write down more answer. Okay, 29 people is watching. So I think they all want to learn this. So also write down your answer. Try to like साथ में मैसेज करते हुए चैट करते हुए we will learn. Queen d5 if you have white threads battery of the d file. Queen d1. Yeah, we can do that, but right now we are also considering to attack on the weakness. अभी बैटरी बनाकर क्या होगा? पॉन को कैप्चर तो कर नहीं रहे हम, ठीक है? But yes, this is one of the way to play. Okay, so there are so many ideas people based on their playing style using those ideas. Yes, लेकिन how you will use that weakness, right? अभी ये पॉन भी किसी पॉन से अभी right now it's not protected. लेकिन अभी हम जब इस पे अटैक करने जाएंगे he will get protected. So there are so many things. अगर आप उस स्ट्रक्चर को समझ पाओगे so you will directly go and you will understand okay this is going to be a long term weakness. Okay, rook takes f4. Then he will just first lose the queen and then lose the rook. Okay, but very good. You guys understood what is our backward pawn, right? अब हम चलेंगे देखेंगे how to play with the backward pawn. And guys, if you understand what is backward pawn structure, don't forget to like the stream. Okay. Today's our target is to reach 50 likes. Okay, let's go. In this position, tell me which pawn is a backward pawn. Tell me which black pawn is a backward pawn. Quick. So this game is played between Akiba Rubinstein playing with the white and against Salve. Okay. And let's see how we will see how Rubinstein played in this. Rubinstein is also a legend, grandmasters. Okay. So we will watch his game. Okay. It's C6, right? C6, Ritter C6, and Aditya C6, Adi C6, very good. Mayur C4, it's not C4, it's C6. Yasasvi C6, very good. Yasasvi, Pragya, Aditya. Oh my God, you guys are champion. You all give me the correct answer. Yes, C6. So remember, now we know that there is the pawn on the C6. It's a backward pawn. So the first thing to play against a backward pawn is to fix that pawn. Okay, stop that pawn to move forward. Okay, तो सबसे पहले हम बैकवर्ड पॉन को फिक्स करेंगे वहां पे बाय स्टॉपिंग इट टू मूव फॉरवर्ड. सो हियर रूबिस्टाइन played bishop e3. The idea is we are stopping and controlling c5 square, so the c6 pawn will not move forward. Remember, you need to control the square front of the backward pawn, so the backward pawn cannot move forward. Very good, Rohit. Very nice. Perfect. And what blacks want to do? Blacks want to push that pawn forward, so he will like अपने weakness को वो हटा पाएगा वहां से. Okay, so let's see. He did castling, and now obviously we know he always has a chance to push this pawn, so he played rook c1. How? See, all the pieces are coming to fix this, to fix that pawn on the c6 square. Very good, Rohit. Did you watch this game before? You are giving me all the perfect answer. That's great. Amazing, guys. Okay, now once this pawn is fixed, we will start using that weak square front of the backward pawn by moving forward. Okay, so let's see. What do you think? What he will play? The next move. Wow, that's really nice. Very good here, Alaka. Great. So what white will play here? What do you think? What Rubinstein played here? So this bishop and the queen is looking at e2 square. F3. Very good, Yashashvi. That's great. You guys are giving me all the perfect answer. Very good. F3. First, don't let your opponent counter attack on your pieces. Okay. So this bishop has to go back. And now what is your next move? What do you think? How we will use the backward pawn? How we will use the backward pawn structure to play? F3, E2 was under attack, Adi. We already discussed. Yes, very good, Red Telsas. Yashasvi, very good. Yashasvi, remember when we learn about the outpost and weak square, it's very important to exchange the pieces who is controlling the weak square, right? So the idea is very good, Rohit Yaralaka, very good, Red Telsas. Bishop c5. Knight c5 and bishop c5 both is good, but the bishop c5 is better because the e7 bishop is the only defender of c5, right? Minor piece defender. So we just want to exchange that piece, so there is no defender of c5 square. Remember, हमें defender के साथ exchange भी करना है, then only we can use our knight on the outpost. Yes, perfect, Rohit. Very great, yeah. You guys are amazing. Okay, so Rook F E8 is like, okay, if you want to capture, you can capture. I'm not going to capture this, right? So what do you think? What is the next move White will play? It's a simple move, okay? So it's a very simple move, Rook F2. Can you guys tell me why White played Rook F2? Why Rubinstein choose to play F2? It's like a prophylaxis move, prophylaxis of defend, like defending before the attack will come. B2 pawn is weak. B2 pawn is also protected before moving our knight here. See, this B2 pawn is not a backward pawn because anytime we can move it forward. Let's see. We will go forward and see how to manage it. Okay. Rook E4. So this pawn rook move is coming to protect this pawn. So our queen will get free, right? We need to free our rook, queen, to go and attack the opponent pieces. Okay, let's go. So here he played knight to d7. Now two pieces, yes, to defend the second rank. Yes, now two pieces is attacking the bishop. Okay, and the c5 square as well. What do you think? Perfect, perfect. That is also one of the choice white can use anytime. Right, like it's on his hand also. The rook, both the rooks in a different rank, so they can come together in one file and also e4. What next? What do you think? What white will play next? It's a Rubinstein game, Akiba Rubinstein game with the white. What do you think? What white will play here? Now two pieces are attacking. B4. Okay, B4 is also one of the good choice. B4. B4. not the bad idea. But see, moving your pawn forward is not always whenever we are going to move our pawn forward, it's okay. We need to always check it two times. Okay, because pawn को move किया forward तो कुछ weakness create होते हैं backward में. Okay, but it's a good move. No problem here. Let's see what Rubinstein played. Okay, b4 is also a good move to protect this. So if the knight or bishop anyone will capture, our pawn will go there. लेकिन but there is a problem. अगर हम b4 चलते हैं, ठीक है, अगर let's see the knight will capture our bishop, what will you do? What will you do now? This pawn is becoming weak. Yeah, bishop takes bishop, then queen d4. Okay, it's a previous Rohit. Very good. That was also a good choice. Very good. Great move. Yes, b4 is weak. और अगर आपने pawn से capture कर लिया तो वो backward pawn गया. जिस c5 square के लिए हम लड़ाई कर रहे थे, for that c5 square we were fighting, we just lost that. Now our pawn get and blocked it, right? So we can't do anything. Right now, Pragya, he just captured the bishop. So we need to focus on exchange. So that's why b4 was not a perfect move that time. So he just exchanged. And yes, Rohit Yarakala found the amazing move. Bishop into e7. He played like a Rubinstein. Rook will capture e7 and then queen d4. Again, fixing this. See, the a7 is also weak. He is looking at the a7 square. And also, again, the three pieces come to control the c5 square. c2 is also good, but red tells us there is a problem with the c2. It's not no any problem. लेकिन आप खुद के रुक को ब्लॉक कर रहे हो, right? With your own queen. और हमने खुद ही तो डिसाइड करा था, we want our other rook on c2. So always open your more options. Whenever you are playing, try to open more option. Okay? सीसी मारू, ठीक है सीसी. Okay. Wow. Naam is PK and then CC Maru. That's nice. Great. Understood? Now see how they are playing. This is the idea, playing against the backward pawn. उसको fix करो, उसके सामने के square को control करो ज्यादा से ज्यादा. ठीक है? That will help you. Okay. Now let's see. White played his rook e to e8. Sorry, the same rook even to back. Okay. And now let's see. What do you think? What will you play from a white side? What will you play from white side? Next move. हमने इस pawn को fix कर दिया है, right? e4. Good choice. e4. You can go for a e4. Okay, that's a really good choice. He also want to play e4, pk, g5. It's a white's move, pk. Rohit Yaralaka e3. Good choice. Not a bad idea. So he played. See, it's very important to active all your pieces. So this bishop is not looking active. So Rubinstein played his bishop to f4. Now the same idea which you guys want to do, right? Which you guys want to do. Play e3 or e4, but also the bishop came there. So that the e3, e4 will go with discover attack. Okay, and then we can get this get a chance to also exchange the pawn here, right? Not when if we are getting any advantage that time only. Okay, very good. Like relocating the bishop to a more active diagonal. That is very, very important. Okay, let's see. He played his rook e to c8. Now, what do you think? What will you play next? e4 or e3? You all give me both the options. What do you think, guys? How Rubinstein played? Oh, e4 3. PK gave us both the options. अभी क्या चलना ठीक है, e4 or e3? That's really nice, Adit. It's just all about to learning from the grandmasters. We are just going inside their head to understand their plans. And if we will also use those plans in our game, obviously we will get very, very good advantage, winning advantage in our game. Okay, Aditya e3, Rohit e3, Yashasvi e4, Adi e4. Okay, Miles to nowhere. E4, Pragya, E4. Okay, E4 is also an amazing move, right? The queen has like the black has to play his queen, right? Either he will play A5 only, maybe, or B7 or B8. I don't think so. These are the good moves. A5, right? And then if we are going to, we will not exchange it, right? Exchanging is not in our favor because he will just capture with his pawn. And now he's like fixing his backward pawns. We don't need to fix that backward pawn, which is not bad right now, but it's not getting any advantage. So the Rubinstein, he played pawn to e3. He's not going for the exchange before this weak pawns, right? हम अपने strong pieces को opponent के weak pieces के साथ exchange नहीं करना चाहते हैं, right? We are not going to exchange our strong pawn with opponent weak pieces. So that's the idea behind it. कि हमारा pawn तो strong है. These all are weak. We are going to capture it anytime. We are like using it to capture. We are going to capture it, right? So that's the idea. Black bishop to connect it. Yep. Yeah. Also this idea, right? Perfect. Those are the ideas. और हमारा pawn भी weak हो जाता. तो हमें वो भी नहीं करना है अगर हमने पॉन से कैप्चर किया E4 के बाद तो वी विल गेट आइसोलेटेड पॉन ऑन दी ओफेल फाइल तो हमें वीकनेस हमारी तरफ भी क्रिएट हो जाएगी तो वो नहीं करना है ओके let's go forward so he played his queen to B7 he just saved his queen and now yes you guys are telling me Mahesh Coach found the answer just subscribe thank you so much Miles okay now what is the next idea what will you play guys now we already created weakness, the how we fixed the weakness, and now how we will go forward. Rook F2, Rook F2 to C2, right? Okay. Yeah, very good. Rectal Sas, Rohit Yaralaka, very good. Amazing. Rook FC2, great. Wood Handicraft Painter B3. B3 is like B2 is also supported. So B3 is not bad, but we are working on this how to fix the C6 and how to use the weak square front of the backward pawn. So we are not changing our ideas, right? हम अपने आइडिया को नहीं चेंज कर रहे हैं हम सीख रहे हैं कि बैकवर्ड पॉन का यूज कैसे करते हैं और उसके सामने के स्क्वायर का यूज कैसे करते हैं ठीक है so here, obviously, rook f to c2 is the amazing move. Okay, there is no problem. Like it's the best move right now to play your rook to c2. This is the best move. Okay, but because Rubinstein is also human, right? So he cannot play like a machine. So he used his knight to c5 to put the knight on the weak square to occupy the weak square with his knight. Obviously, the opponent also has the knight to exchange it, but if the opponent knight will capture, we will get our rook here. And also, sometimes knight is the best piece to use on an outpost, or you can also use your rook or bishop as well, right? Yeah, yes, amazing, Red Tail Sass. You know so many things about the Grandmaster. You are the amazing player. Great. So yes, this is the plan. So he captured, Rook captured, and now see the weak square is fixed. One weakness is fixed. Now there is no way to like save that C6 pawn from that weakness. The opponent has to always come again and again to support this. Bishop A6. Oh ho. Like after coming rook to A5, maybe he can do. So the black played his rook to C7. And now guys, you guys found already that idea. Rook F to C2. See how all the pieces, first he fixed the pawn, backward pawn. Now using the weak square and going with all his pieces, with all his power to attack the weak pawn. But remember, create just attacking one weak square is not the idea. Always think how to create the second weakness. Okay. So right now he's pressuring on the backward pawn. So queen b6. And now tell me what will you play here? What white will play in this position? Quick. And I also have to go for my regular chess classes. So we will try to finish this very quick, guys. And don't forget to like the stream. Our target is to reach 50 likes today. Okay. If you understand what is backward pawn and how to play against the backward pawn, yep, great, great red sauce. Rohit Yaralaka, very good. Wow, I saw your move. Don't worry, don't worry. You don't need to spam, huh? Rook into c6. Why? Rook into c6 is not a bad idea. Like, but what will happen? Rook c6. If the rook will capture c6, what will you do? Sumit, check your move. Calculate the move properly. Blogger Tejas, h4. Nice idea, blogger. Nice idea to going for another side to fix to create one more threat. Very good. Red Tilsa a4. Very good. A4 or okay. Blogger Tejas A4. Okay, so let's see. Rohit, give me the perfect move which Rubinstein played. Okay, because he want to free his queen to go somewhere. Already the queen is free, but he played B4. Amazing move. Again, C6 weakness should be always fixed there. Whenever you will move your rook on any other square, he will try to push his pawn forward. Like in after B4. After b4, the c6 pawn cannot move forward. This is also one of the amazing way to fix the backward pawn by controlling the front square of the pawn, backward pawn by using your pawn only. तो अपना pawn ही use करके अगर आपने backward pawn के आगे का square control करा है, so that pawn is fixed, right? वो आगे नहीं आ सकता उसके बाद. ठीक है so that's the best amazing move played by Rubinstein not by me it's played by Rubinstein only great and now let's see after this obviously Salve played a6 his opponent played a6 now remember weakness second what we call it strategy of two weakness maybe rectal sas do you remember प्रिंसिपल ऑफ टू वीकनेस सॉरी यस प्रिंसिपल ऑफ टू वीकनेस तो हमें दो वीकनेस को फिक्स करने हमने C6 को फिक्स कर दिया ओके रोहित यारा लगा नाउ A4 वेरी गुड नाइस मूव वेरी गुड what else idea is there what do you think what Rubinstein played after this obviously he will A4 चलने के बाद ना there is one problem रोहित कि आपके साथ ये B4 का पॉन जो है ना वो वीक हो जाएगा क्योंकि वो फिर बैकवर्ड पॉन बन जाएगा राइट वेरी गुड I got one correct answer. Rook b2. Why? The rook is on a semi-open file. He is feeling so good. Keep your rook on a open files or on the semi-open file. They are very happy on those squares and they will always thanks to you like for keeping them on a open files or semi-open files. Adi a4. Nope. Rook into d5. Rook into d5. What is the idea? Okay, like I understood this is a discover attack is coming. Mhm. Exchanging piece right now. Rook into d5. Let me see. Rook into d5. Obviously, he has to capture this. Then you will move this for capture it. लेकिन आपका सारा अटैक तो चला गया ना you exchange the queens or you capture that pawn that's amazing that's not a bad that's a very good move rook into d5 actually Rohit I mean like मुझे कुछ पता दिख नहीं रहा है rook into d5 पे क्या चल सकता है black can there is any other counter attack from a black side rook is okay but the queen is also hanging right okay he will just give up his queen for two rooks that's also one of the idea he will give up his two rooks for a queen right that's not a bad idea and rook b8 okay rook b8 then he will just exchange the rooks and then get back his rook on the good five squires right? So that's how you can consider to play. But obviously, I think after rook into d5, c will capture d5, and if the queen into b6, just rook will capture c2. And I cannot see there is anything wrong for a black in this position. It's a good choice for black as well. Right now, it's an equal position now. It's equal position. All the weakness is gone. Two rooks against the queen. It's an equal position. Okay. So that's why he didn't play that. He played rook a5. Remember principle of two weakness. Switching the piece on the other side to attack on the other weakness also. So putting more pressure on the opponent. So he cannot get a chance to support both the pieces at the same time. Rook b2. रुक बी टू प्लीज एक्सप्लेन रोहित यार लगा रुक बी टू रुक बी टू ऑप्शन में ही नहीं था हमारे हम पॉन के पीछे क्यों जा रहे हैं मूविंग योर रुक बिहाइंड द पॉन इज नॉट द गुड आइडिया ठीक है so that's the only thing right okay so this is rook a5 Rubinstein played attacking a a6 pawn right okay so now let's see what happened next okay okay so rook came to b8 now guys tell me how you will start going forward अब आपका भी कुछ pieces under attack. What will you play next? Quick, quick. I have to go. I have a class. Quick, guys. Can we capture this pawn? Is this a good move? Because I can see that we have a chance to capture it. Wow, that's great. Very good, Sumit. Wow. Rook into a6. Amazing choice, rook into a6. But also remember, don't. This pawn is already weak, right? तो अगेन हम वीक पॉन के लिए अपना स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉन नहीं देंगे सो आदित्य फाउंड द आइडिया सुमित फाउंड द आइडिया फर्स्ट प्लेस सिंपली ए3 हमने वी फिक्स द ओपोनेंट वीकनेस राइट वी ऑलरेडी फिक्स द ओपोनेंट वीकनेस सो वी डोंट नीड टू गो फॉर एक्सचेंज क्वीन एक्सचेंज कर सकते हैं or we can also consider see if their queen will capture it's okay for us again this is fixed right so we are just want to improve our position slowly and exchanges always we will consider in our second choice okay not in our first choice queen c5 was also good not bad idea but again c5 okay is there is anything happening on the other side no so b4 was hanging right that tells us that's why queen c5 was not working that time but maybe later he will play because he first fixed that protect that b4 pawn. Let's go forward. He came back to protect a6, right? See, up now he needs to use his all the pieces to protect with these two pawns again and again. He captured this. Wow, I should ask this question to you guys. I didn't see that that is coming. So हमने एक pawn weakness को fix करा. We created attack on the second weakness also. Okay, and now we got that pawn without doing anything. We captured that pawn, and after capturing that pawn, if you see, still there is two weakness. This pawn is weak, and this pawn is also weak, right? So that's how grandmasters, the legend players, improve their position, right? They are not letting their opponents to rid off from their weakness. Khatam, yeah. Ek pawn khatam, match is going to be khatam only. Okay, so he played rook a8, attacking the queen. Now tell me what will you play here? I tried like I today's my 11:30 class was cancelled. So I thought, okay, I will give some more time here to explain you properly this strategy because these strategies are very important. We are missing these strategies. That's why we are not sometime improving our games. ये छोटे छोटे weakness ही हैं जो आपको help करेंगे to win your games. Okay, that's not a bad idea, champions. Rook into a6, amazing move. Wow. नहीं लेकिन rook into a6 में there is a problem. You captured, I will capture your queen, you will capture my queen, I will capture the pawn. This checkmate is not coming because of my bishop. So again, you also lost one pawn there. And this is again weak. Passed pawn, but right now I have so many pieces to attack and come and stop it. That's why rook into a6, he didn't play that. He played simple, queen c5. Come back. Not letting him to enter in your territory. Queen c5. He played queen c5. That tells us, like Rubinstein played queen c5. Yeah. Rook c5, there is no problem with the rook c5 as well. But again, if you will capture your queen, rook c5. Uh, let's see. There is no problem. Rook c5 is also good. And you know, rook into a6, it's the best move right now. But obviously, they are also human. They are not going to play like that. And rook c5, that's also not a bad idea. He will just go back and support his rook. That's all. Right? So all these moves are perfect. You guys are playing all the perfect moves. So very good. Hats off for you guys. Okay. So he played just queen c5 to blocking and ready to exchange. Remember, जब हमारे पास advantage होता है when we are in a material advantage, it's good to go for a exchange pieces. And you guys are also finding those things only. Rook into a6 was best move that time. Okay, a queen b7. Now let's see. He started moving his king forward. H5. Now there is nothing in this game. Now slowly they are just improving their piece position. Now we understood. Tell me guys, do you understand what is backward pawn and how to play against the backward pawn? Do you understand that? Write down yes in chat if you understand what is backward pawn and how to play against the backward pawn. Yes, Aditya, rook into a6 was best. It's a engine move. We will see that later. Yes, perfect. Very good. Aditya, Adi understood. Red tails are understood. Pragya, amazing. Very good. What else, guys? Now 36 people are watching. कितने लोगों ने इसको समझा? What is weak is a backward pawn and how to play against the backward pawn. चलो, so great. Very good, Aditya. Okay. Wood handicraft painter, amazing. After bishop e3, can black play c5? Yes, there was a choice for a black to play c5, but it's not a good choice. Give me 1 second, guys. Uh, I will talk to that later. Okay, let's see what happened in this game. We will just quick see this game what happened. Slowly they are improving their piece position. Okay, and now white got a passed pawn. Simply he started pushing this pawn, and here black salve resigned. Okay, so there is nothing for black to do, and black resigned here, and white won by using that backward pawn structure strategy. Okay, now let's go back. We are going to end this class very quick because I have another class now. I have to go. Okay. Uh, Bishop, what he asked me? Bishop e3, right? The first move. Yes. Here, bishop e3. Can he move this pawn forward? See, they have a two defender, right? So if he will move his pawn forward, what will happen? Can we go for this attack? It's going to be a under attack. Now two pieces are attacking this, right? Not a bad choice, but yeah, they have a chance. Yes. Classes we are giving Monday to Friday 11 a.m. Maybe queen b3 exchanging this and trying to attack on this pawn. That's the idea. That's how he can try to play. And that's a good move. That's a always try to read out from your backward pawns. Backward pawn है अगर आपके पास तो ट्राई करो कि उसको हम पुश करके आगे चले जाए लेकिन इसमें भी प्रॉब्लम ये होगा कि इफ यू विल पुश दिस पॉन इट बिकम्स अ हैंगिंग पॉन स्ट्रक्चर और अगर ये और आगे आएगा तो दिस pawn will become backward pawn. So backward pawn will always there. हम बस सेम प्लान यूज करेंगे दूसरे बैकवर्ड पॉन के लिए ठीक है क्लियर Clear red tail Sal. I think we understood. It's a good move from a black side, but he didn't play. Salve did not play, and that's why he lost very quick after this. Okay, so that's all for today's guys. Now see you in our evening or late night live where we will play, review, and learn from our own games. It's a great session, everyone. You all give me the so many good exchanges, good answers, nice, amazing moves. I really enjoyed it. That's good, Red Tail Saab, but sacrificing is always not the perfect choice. You should go for a sacrifice with some counter attack, with some compensation. Then it's a good thing. Okay? चलो फिर आई एम गोइंग इट्स अ ग्रेट सेशन आज का टॉपिक था बैकवर्ड पॉन स्ट्रक्चर तो आने वाले नेक्स्ट 3 गेम्स ट्राई टू प्ले बेस्ड ऑन बैकवर्ड पॉन स्ट्रक्चर्स गेम ओके आपको खेलना है गेम उसमें बैकवर्ड पॉन स्ट्रक्चर को अपने दिमाग में रखना है एंड ट्राई टू यूज इट इन योर नेक्स्ट 3 गेम्स ओके एंड डू मोर पजल्स एंड वी विल कम इन लाइव वी विल प्ले टुगेदर रिव्यू एंड लर्न फ्रॉम आवर ओन गेम्स सो थैंक यू गाइस अगर आप लोगों को ये क्लास पसंद आए एंड इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस ओके सो डोंट फॉरगेट टू लाइक द स्ट्रीम share this with your chess lovers friend also subscribe to not miss our Monday to Friday 11 a.m. free chess classes. And I will also come to play with you guys, and also we will review and learn. It's for both of us. Okay. Oh, that's really nice, Red Tail Saath. That's great. Amazing. Okay, guys. Take care. Bye bye. See you in evening. Bye. Take care.